Hi, it's Peter from Record Power. On the following few clips, I'm going to do some work on the BM16 Morticer. It's a machine we've had in the marketplace now for many years, and giving us good results and giving our customers good results. But now, probably after the length of time they've been in the marketplace, you're going to be looking to do a little bit of maintenance on the machines. So what I'll do over the following few videos, well, I think we'll do 4 in all. I'll take the table off top first, clean that down, reset it, then I'll do the table underneath, and then I'll do the access of the movement of the head up and down, and finally I'll just do a short video on setting the tools and the usage of the generally of the machine. So hopefully it gives you guys a few ideas how to use your machine and get the best out of your machine. So first off, what I'll do is I'll actually take off the little clamp. And what I find is if I get a tray or something like that, you can put your bits and pieces in there, you're not going to lose them. And on the side here we've got 3 grub screws. Inside of there you've got a little jib strip. And what you want to do with the jib strip is occasionally, if you've got a little bit of slop, a little bit of movement, it's not quite right, it's maybe sticky or it's a little bit loose, what you can do is undo these 3 lock nuts, feel the position of the grub screws first, just take the knock lock and take it up to the strip, or back them off and take the centre one up first. That will move the actual jib strip across, because the centre hole has actually got a dimple into the jib strip itself. And then what I'll do in this case is I'm going to take them all out. So just free all those off first, and then take all the 3 grub screws out. And this will give me access then to actually removing the jib strip itself. And I'll show you that, and I'll show you the dimple mark on there, which I was talking about as well. So it just took us a few seconds. So what you'll probably find from this as well, from the manufacturers, what they tend to do is put far too much grease onto the actual machines. So that's your actual running face, the shiny side, and this is the reverse, and this has got the dimple mark on it, and that's where your middle grub screw locates. So you can't go wrong when you're taking it in and out. When it's in this condition, give it a little bit of a clean, just see what it's generally like. There's no pickups in there, no marks. Check the ends of the shaft, the jib strip itself. Just make sure that it's got a little bit of a chamfer over there, that it's no rough edges on there, especially on the working face. So those can actually be maybe a lump on there. That's maybe what's making it a little bit juddery as it goes up and down. And just give it a little trim. The actual running face itself, maybe use a very fine oil stone just to go over it, with a bit of oil on there or something like that. Or if you've got some wet and dry, nice piece of wet and dry, very fine, bit of oil on it, and then clean it up. I'll show you how to do that again. Anyway, take this off. If you take it so far, what you find is there's for a better word, a floating nut inside. And what you need to do is either screw it out completely, or if you're very lucky, you can lift it up and take it out. Not on this occasion, maybe a little bit more. Should have wound it out before I started. There you go. So that's that off, and that's your nut. So the smaller, it's off centre, so that part sits in there. The bigger part of the set where it's off centre sits in below. So what we need to do now is just give this a little clean out. get rid of the muck in here. It's mostly grease, and you'll have some wood dust and bits and pieces in there. Give that a clean out first. Just check over the faces themselves. So just a fine oil stone. And just check to see if you get any sharp faces. Usually on your file you've got a safety edge and you've got a rough edge. Put your safety edge down. I've got some of these pads which are really good for cleaning up faces. All this will do, just clean the face up. If there's any roughness on there, it just on your running face, just make that nice and smooth. It's pretty good. So it's really nice and smooth now. Before I just got a few sharp edges, I could feel them when I was putting my fingers over there, but now it's okay, nice and smooth, and I've got most of the muck off. What we'll do when we do the reassembly is just put a little bit of oil on there. Try not to put grease on there. You know, it's probably my pet hate is putting grease on woodworking machinery. They don't really go together, because what you'll find is using too much grease is wood dust is just going to adhere to it, and then you'll just get the machine a build up of that after a while, and you're just going to get tighter and tighter as you do it. Pay a little bit of attention to your screw, give that a little bit of a squirt, and then just give it a wind, get rid of some of that muck on there. Most of it will fall off with the WD-40. That'll help to draw out most of the muck off it. Well, what you'll find is you've got quite a bit of muck gets inside of it. So what are you doing when you moving it backwards and forwards is just transferring that up and down all the time. I'll take that all the way through first, only because I want to get, if there's any muck inside of the nut itself, I can wipe that off now. What we should be able to do, start that on, and just lift over, and you can put it into its location. Push it over to the back face, take it in so it's equal or thereabouts each ends before you put the jib strip back in. That's what we want to do. Is going to set the jib strip up now, and I want basically equal sort of faces in contact. So the jib strip, like I say, you've got your actual mark on there. That's the centre point for the for your grub screw. Put a little bit on the working face and a little bit on the back face. Not too much, don't overdo it. And just put that back in. So all I want to do is equal that up. And then get one of the number grub screws. Just check these are clean on the end first before you put them in. If you've got a key or something like that, something long, thin, you can poke down the hole. You'll just locate the actual drill mark actually on the shaft. Take it into the face. Just pinch it up. Right, I've got the location. So I'll just take it up again and ease it back. And the final one. Again, take it up and ease it back. So I'm going to take the middle one up now. Just ease it back on my fingers. I want a positive feel on this anyway. Because all you're doing with this one is making your fine adjustments. So I don't want it to be really easy going backwards and forwards. There's no need for it to be. Like I say, all you're doing on this one is you're making your settings for your centre off your timber you're putting in your chisels. And I've got no movements in there, so I've got that backwards and forwards now. That's okay. It's not a difficult one to do, just follow those little tips. What I'll do before as well is just clean that up. I'll just check again the faces. If any of them are rough, and what I'll do is I'll put a file over there and just clean those up. What I want to be is nice and smooth. And it's a little bit dull around the actual top of the unit, so what I can do with that You just clean it up with one of these. If you got a circular motion on there as well, what you're not going to leave is those little scratch marks in the top. So that's nice. This rear voice plate is where the material is actually going to sit against. So probably pay a little attention to that. You haven't got any high points on there. That's right, that's your top assembly done. So you got X, Y, Z movement on the machine. We've marked one off, and then I'll move on to another one with you soon. Catch you in a bit. Cheers.